Dan and Amy, and we spend a lot of time on this show talking about K through post-secondary education. Got our Campus Beat segment, try and keep you updated, make good decisions for your kids as it pertains to their education. Amy,
Dan.
Make sure Peyton and Eli stay on the straight and narrow. And so we like to update you as to the bad examples and the good examples. And God, like a complete picture. We talk a lot about leftism on campus, and so many op-eds now have been written in this last several months, starting with Andrew Sullivan's in New York Times Magazine. We're all on a college campus now these days. We talk about college professors and instances, celebrate instances of wild conduct by college professors. What about university administrators? There's this piece by Samuel Abrams, who shockingly is a political science professor at Sarah Lawrence College. That's the girls' college that Rahm went to.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
he's a dance major, a ballerina.
Yeah, he was right. Exactly.
Right, somebody's got to dance, Dan.
Samuel Abrams looked at the bureaucracy at universities. Focused so much on the professorate. What about the bureaucracies? He points out that schools are increasing their hiring in areas such as residential life and student centers, Office of Student Life and Success, offices of inclusion and engagement, and so on and so forth. So he did a survey, nationally representative sample of roughly 900 student-facing administrators, those whose work concerns the quality and character of a student's experience on campus. He found liberal staff members outnumber their conservative counterparts by 12 to 1. 6% of campus administrators identify as conservative to some degree. 71% classify themselves as liberal or very liberal. And I guess this isn't a surprise. I mean, this is the ratio in a lot of academic departments in a lot of colleges as well. But he writes, it's no wonder so much of the non-academic programming on college campus is politically one-sided, just as is the coursework. For more on this topic, on the other side of the equation, really, Roger Ream joins us. He's the president of the Fund for American Studies. The Fund for American Studies, which provides programming for college students as well as high school students in a range of disciplines: economics, journalism, and international studies. I actually, Amy, am a graduate of the Fund for American Studies program.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Did you bring some of your paperwork in?
No,
Do you have some of his work?
I brought Roger Ream in.
We've got his
instead.
We've got his file.
Right.
So
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Roger, thanks so much.
Of it?
Well, they've obviously memorialized my time there.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very prominent
They've
graduate.
shadowboxed your work.
Roger, thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk a little bit about Fund for American Studies in a moment, but just want you to get your reaction to the continued scholarship in this space of what a college campus looks like these days, the professorate as well as the administrators.
Well, I'll give you one quick indication of how we notice this, because we recruit hundreds of students from around the country who go to lots of colleges and universities. They come to our program for a summer semester, and a few years ago we started noticing a difference in the students. It reflected what, we're hearing this word coddled, that the students are mostly from these administrators, I think. They're told that they're fragile. They need to be protected from ideas they might not agree with or that might challenge them. And we were getting a lot of pushback from the things we teach about free enterprise, about our Constitution, from students.
Right.
And so we've had to undertake the last few years an orientation of sorts to impress on them the importance of the First Amendment, of free speech, the importance of being willing to hear ideas you might not agree with. And I do think, you cited those statistics from Professor Abrams, I think a lot of this is coming from the administrators, because even if 35 or 40 colleges have adopted the Chicago principles about free speech, it's the administrators who talk to students about this when they arrive on campus, who do the orientation for students and are responsible for implementing these ideas.
And it's interesting because the Fund for American Studies program, I should hasten to add, has students, I remember from going there, has students that are liberal too. It's not just for conservatives. So there is dialogue in the economics class that you take as part of, and then you do an internship in the D.C. area. But the economics class, I remember these dialogues with students who didn't agree with me. We're not free enterprise oriented. We're not originalists when it came to the Constitution. And so it really is an interesting mix of young people because, as you say, they're from all over the country, but they have a wide range of opinions on these topics.
Oh, yeah. I'd say the majority of our students come more from the center left, particularly true of those that attend our journalism program. The business program may be a little bit the other way, but it's quite a range of views, which makes a healthy learning environment when you're in the dorms at night talking about what you've been learning in class, and you can have great debates and, the bull sessions and challenge each other. And so we have to do extra steps at orientation to prepare students for that kind of dialogue to take place in the classroom and outside the classroom.
Doesn't it just amaze you at what has happened? I mean, do you feel like your hands are tied?
Oh, our hands aren't quite tied because we can overcome it. I think, what we notice, Amy, is that because they haven't really had much exposure to these ideas, that once you let them hear a little bit and you take a non-political approach to teaching these ideas as tools that can help them be better at analyzing issues, they're receptive. But it is amazing that, they come to us the way they do so often.
Give us the backstory on the Fund for American Studies and more specifics on the programming that you guys provide.
Well, we were founded 50 years ago, and the vision is to bring students who we think are going to be leaders in the future, going into journalism, public policy, politics, and other fields like that, and give them the opportunity to spend a summer or a semester in the nation's capital. They'll go to the Congress, the White House, the Department of State and Defense, and learn about these institutions and what they do. They'll study in the classroom, free market economics, learn about the Constitution, and they'll have internships for the length of the summer semester where they gain practical experience. And now we're proud that so many of our alums are our leaders. They've served in Congress. They're radio talk show hosts.
I mean, look at
in major markets.
We're with one right now.
Right, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Boy, it's just such a model.
Grace
of
by
the
your
yeah,
presence.
exactly. Yeah.
So how did you get involved,
he's-
Dan? I mean, what?
I found out about the program because I read, and
I
I've been
got
reading
that.
for some time.
Yes.
And I thought it was interesting. Actually, the thing that most attracted to me was interesting because it was going to take a couple of courses during the summer at Georgetown, where you could get credit for, number one. But it was more just take a couple courses, one in economics, one in international relations. And I knew of the economics professor that taught the course there, who's now since passed, unfortunately, George Vixnens, who was amazing. I mean, he's like a Friedmanite. And really colorful and fun and interesting. So that plus the internship piece of it was interesting to me. So I hadn't had any real exposure to D.C. when I think I did this after my sophomore year at Northwestern. Hadn't really had exposure. I thought, well, this is a cool way to do it. Take a couple classes, live on the campus of Georgetown, so it's relatively affordable, and then be able to do an internship in D.C. And so I just think it and then, interact with
Where was your internship?
young minds around the country. I did Legal Services Corporation, which provides funding for civil legal representation for indigent clients.
Okay.
So it was all right. It was fun. It was a good part of the program. But the internship, that combination of the internship, the kind of professional experience plus the academic experience, I thought makes your program relatively unique.
Yeah, most of the students who come to our program come because of the internship. They're looking for a chance to gain experience. And we guarantee them an internship placement that hopefully is closely aligned with their major, their career interest. And the courses we require them to take are kind of the cost of coming. But we have outstanding professors. We've found others like Professor George Vixens who teach every summer. And the students rate the professors very highly. And we do a lot of pre and post testing of the students when they've gone through our program. And we found this summer 96% of the students said they learned a much better appreciation of the First Amendment than they had when they came.
Well,
Over 90% showed they learned a lot more about economics than they had before. And we asked them when they arrive, only 20% of the students on the orientation day said they thought capitalism was superior to socialism.
Wow.
So that tells you, and it was up to like 70% when they left. So we didn't get them all, but
you
at least
you
they've
made a
been
big
exposed to the
pro- yeah,
ideas
well,
of
progress.
that prosperity is tied to capitalism.
Doing
and
the
free
Lord's
enterprise.
work. And also it shows that, right, somebody who's 20 years old who thinks Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is cool is not lost forever.
That's
You know,
right.
they just need a little exposure to other ideas, right, and to the evidence.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And we were lucky. I had a tech whiz on my staff in the early 90s, and she grabbed the website dcinternships.org right when the internet was being developed. So a lot of students type in internships in their browser, and they come to our dcinternships.org website and find out about our programs.
Now, are you trying to get into the high school space as well in terms of enlisting students to have experiences like this?
Yeah, we just joined forces with another organization, the Foundation for Teaching Economics, FTE, and we do programs around the country on college campuses for high school students in the summer, a week-long Economics for Leaders program. We're doing training and curriculum for teachers, lessons for teachers of economics in the high schools, because I think you do have to start earlier to reach young people who don't have an appreciation for our free market economic system. And that's been great. We'll reach several thousand high school students directly, and then a lot more through the teachers we train. So we've got this continuum now of high school, college, and then programs for young professionals, journalism fellowships, things like that.
And we get this question all the time because we talk about education and higher ed a lot on this show, which is, okay, what are some schools that you would recommend my son or daughter consider? Because I do not recommend where I went, Northwestern, unless you want to be despised like I was on campus, which I enjoyed. It's fine, but it's a certain personality type that wants that experience. And also we've got Peyton and Eli, Amy's kids, and we're trying to prevent them from going down the dark path she went to, going to the University of Iowa. We want them to go to an accredited college.
I got an A in basket weaving.
And so
it was underwater basket weaving.
So I mean, so how and I'm sure you get that question all the time too. So how do you tell people to conceive of making educational choices in conjunction with or for their kids?
Well, you have a lot of trade-offs you have to weigh in terms of what your son or daughter might want to study, engineering or liberal arts, and what size school is the right fit. There are some great schools that offer a good education about our Constitution and the liberal arts, like Hillsdale College and Grove City College in Pennsylvania. Mitch Daniels, the president of Purdue, has served on our board, and I think he's doing great things at Purdue University. And and he's requiring engineering students there to take liberal arts courses and learn something about the social sciences and humanities. So there are a lot of factors. I sent two of my children to the University of Virginia, which I think's always had a pretty good diversity on its faculty. You always worry about the big publics, but there are a lot of things you should look at. But I would ask, when you go to visit a campus, I'd ask questions like, can you show me any evidence of what students learn in their 4 years here?
That's good.
And, what about the intellectual diversity of your faculty? Most trustees don't even ask those questions at board meetings, and those are questions they should be asking to the faculty and the administrators of these universities.
That's good questions. The Fund for American Studies program, how does it work? Where do people get more information if college students that want to consider applying for the program?
Yeah, at dcinternships.org, you can find all the information for students who might want to attend or apply to our program. We offer a great number of scholarships. 80% of the students get scholarships to attend. And then we have a website that's TFAS, our initials, tfas.org, and that kind of presents the whole suite of programs that we offer for high school, college, and young professionals.
Great. He is Roger Ream. He's the president of the Fund for American Studies, tfas.org and dcinternships.org. Both
dcinternships.org. Is it too late for me to apply?
I think there should be, there's a
you can have a grandma.
There's like a senior hall of fame, right? There's you get like the people that were passed over the first time and then you can bring them in as seniors. So it's kind of the same thing for like graduates of University of Iowa in the late 60s.
Maybe we can give you an honorary diploma from our program.
Right. There you go. All right. Very good. Roger Ream, president of the Fund for American Studies. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.